This week's all-new episode of Legends of Tomorrow was called Star City 2046. Picking up from where the last episode left off, our heroes find themselves in an alternate future Star City where they failed their mission in Russia, so now everything is on fire all the time, but we never actually get to see another Soviet firestorm. The team is met by this era's new Arrow, who despite being one man with a bunch of pointy sticks is somehow able to fight a group of several powered individuals to a standstill, and if that bit of sloppy writing bugs you, then buckle on up because this episode is positively rife with that kind of thing. From here, the standard episode formula takes over, with the team splitting up to cover more ground. Half will stay to fix the ship, while the other half will need to find a science MacGuffin so they can fix Gideon and get back to traveling through time. Rip says Adam and White Canary will need to stay behind because somehow, someway, seeing an alternate future can be damaging to the timeline. Of course, none of this matters because White Canary just says screw it and comes along on the trip anyway. Seriously, why even bother to set rules for time travel if no one is going to freaking follow them? This is getting super annoying. This is also what we like to call lazy writing. Once again, Rip berates people for trying to change the timeline when his entire motivation is screwing with history, which makes him look like one giant hypocrite. Rip also decided to bring along the two professional thieves for this snatch and grab job, but none of that mattered because they break off the first chance they get, and this is no surprise where things actually start to get good. You see, Heatwave loves this Mad Max future and is ready to rule over it like a king, but the much bigger picture-oriented Captain Cold thinks they should stay the course. It is a nice bit of characterization. Dominic Purcell's Mick is a simple man with simple wants, but Cold, maybe because being around heroes for so long, or maybe because all of this time travel has him interested in a legacy worth remembering, wherein Captain Cold is more than just a two-bit hood. It also gets kind of adorable when you stop to think that Cold might actually be jealous of the friendship Heatwave was able to form with Adam last episode. And hey, you know, while it might be fire and death outside the ship, on the inside of the ship, what's the big issue? Well, Jax has a crush on Hot Girl and is worried she might only like him as a work friend. Wow, Jax, it's called perspective. Get some. Talk about some serious tonal whiplash between dark alternate future horrors and corny CW love triangles. I really did think 6 episodes in we weren't going to have to deal with any soap operatics, but I guess I was wrong. The rest of Star City 2046 is really an episode heavy on Arrow lore, so if you like that show, I'm sure you're in for a treat, but if you're like me and don't, then this is going to be a pretty rocky road for you. You see, the city has been taken over by the new Deathstroke, Wilson Grant. Yes, you know, Slade's crappy son from the comics, the one who decided to become a villain after the Titans trashed his apartment, and who died fighting the Titans in his first battle because his super soldier serum killed him. No wonder he doesn't get a backstory in this episode. He kind of blows. Then there's the Green Arrow of the future, John Diggle Jr. I mean, Connor Hawk. I mean, what the hell? He's both? Yeah, he's Diggle's kid, not Ollie's, assumedly the one he had with his wife, who took up the name Connor Hawk because of shame? How does he even know that name? Where did it come from? Your guess is good as mine. It's like the writers sit down every week and saying, you know, what choice could we make with these Green Arrow characters that would make Joel the angriest? Let's think of it, then do that. I'd also like to stress before I move on, the actor in the role is fine. He does an adequate job, he's just not giving much to work with. Seriously, how hard would it have been to dye his hair blonde? I know they already took aspects of Connor Hawk's origin and used it for William, but this is an alternate future. You can do whatever the hell you want and not be worried about messing anything up. If you're gonna do Connor Hawk, do him right, do him 100%, none of this in-name only bullshit. Then there's Old Man Ollie himself with a thick salt and pepper Santa beard that actually makes him look more like his comic counterpart than he ever has before in multiple seasons worth of Arrow. He's also missing one arm like his Dark Knight Returns counterpart. That's cool. Did I mention he went missing at some point in this future and no one thought to check his secret lair? That is much less cool. Ollie also blames the fall of Star City on the absence of the Adam and White Canary. Okay, that's weird. Way to pass the buck, dude. In the end, White Canary has to rally for a chance to help save future Star City, even though Rip, right for once in his life on the matter, says that if they do their jobs correctly, this dark future will never come to pass. So despite some good advice, and because we need an action finale, they all risk their necks to save a city comprised mostly of one block and a lot of flaming garbage. Seriously, like 60% of this episode takes place on the same street. It's weird. That being said, it's a cool fight. For my money, the two Arrows and White Canary had this one in the bag, bag and didn't even need the others to fly on in and help. By far the cherry, though, on the dumb sundae is what Rip Hunter has to say in the final moments of the episode. Well, I guess every future is worth fighting for. I learned a lesson. No, it isn't. In fact, your entire crusade is based around the fact that there's a really terrible future you want to stop from happening. You know, the horrible future that killed your wife and son. Is that future worth fighting for? In summation, Star City 2046 was an episode loaded with a ton of great concepts that it had no idea what to do with. Seeing the team in the far future was cool, but none of it mattered because they never left Star City or that one single block. Future Ollie was cool, but might have worked much better in an actual episode of Arrow instead of being a minor plot point here. Furthermore, why did 1975 and 1986 get two-part episodes while this awesome future setting was one and done? Why do we still have to go over these same tenets of teamwork every week with these guys? Why do they never seem to learn? Also, and perhaps most importantly of all, why for the love of God, 6 episodes in, are they still being so laissez-faire with the rules of time travel in a show that is all about time travel? Yeah, I give this episode a 5.5. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching my newest video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll feel like checking out some more videos I have on offer here at Cape Joel.